Yo, what's good, mi gente? You is now tuned in to Pura Cultura Sin Censura, and this is your boy Lazy.
And I'm Smiley.
And together we are the Mexi Twins.
Yes, sir, man. Yo, we bringing a podcaster out of retirement today, man. We got we got we got a homie that I'm sure a lot of people been wondering about. A lot of people still follow you on your social media, man. They wonder what you've been up to, man. So we had to get you on here, man. So today we got the homie Chonuc from No Father No Problem on the podcast, man. Chonuc, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, bro. Thank you, both of you guys. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, bro. We've been meaning to get you on, bro, but you be leaving the country unexpected, Vato. You just be like, yo, bro, I'm in fucking Tijuana, or I don't know where you were at last time, bro.
Hey, you know what? When you get a little older and you don't got kids, you don't think you don't gotta worry about nobody. I called the wife one afternoon. I go, hey, you want to get away? She's like, yeah, let's do it. At two was it noon over here? We made reservations. 12 hours later, we're in Cancun at the Rayu Las Americas, just chilling, having some drinks. You once you get older,
Damn.
the kids are gone. You can make moves like that.
Oh
But
shit.
Spon
yeah, we took off. I was supposed to
spon
record with you guys that day. I was supposed to record with you guys, and I'm like, hey man, I got something else going on. So
A
sorry
la
about that.
like
his
a la
wife's
verga
like
con esos güeyes.
his wife Chanel's like, hey, I don't got nothing else going on today. Should we go on a small vacation real quick?
Hey,
Schedule
you know what?
is
I offered you
open.
guys. I go, hey, I'm gonna be down there. I can log in and record with you guys. And I'll tell you one thing, dude. The internet in Mexico is awesome, man. I've
Oh,
been
okay.
down there, and it's not changing. It would have worked, but you guys wanted to postpone because you weren't sure about the connections. I understand.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, no,
because
we don't wanna interfere with your vacation, bro. Especially something being so spontaneous like that, bro. Like we want to make sure you go down there, you have a good time, bro. Enjoy yourself and all that, man.
yeah, because
Oh yeah, it was fun. I had a good time.
yeah, because you know how recordings go, bro. You plan around it, you move things around, you shorten up. I can't go work out, or I can't go do this, or I can't do that. We were ready to record, and you're like, bro, the internet doesn't work, or the Wi-Fi doesn't work. It's like, fuck, bro. Like we planned all this, and no se pudo hacer. So we kind of learned our lessons from previous um recordings, that it's like, if people are not at a place where they know the Wi-Fi is good, maybe we'll
Yeah.
just push it back a little bit. But
No, I get it. I get it. I understand. I understand. Good
what's
call.
what Smiley started the podcast with, bro, is something that I don't know if you've like openly or on a different podcast let anybody know, but no father no problem, bro. You haven't released no new episodes for a good minute now. Like, well, what's up?
Shit. The only thing I was, you know what? Uh, I think not that it ran its course, but I think Frankie was doing the stand-up comedy. He was doing well. He wanted to take a quick break, and during that time he wanted to take a break. I was in the middle of doing something else,
Hmm.
so instead of taking a break, we say, you know what? Yeah, that's it. It ran its course, and we're done. And a few months went by. I didn't miss it. Frankie was okay with it because he was doing the stand up, and I think he was able. He had an outlet for his creative side, his creative energy. So he had an outlet for it. I was in the middle of something else, so I think it was easy for us to let it go.
Hmm.
And so people always ask me, "You guys coming back? You guys coming back?" I don't think we have any plans, but I'll tell you this: the type of person Frankie is, and I know him very well. If I was to call him up one day, Frankie, you want to start doing the podcast? He'd be like, okay, let's do it. It would be, no, let's do it. It would be no big deal for him. He just one of those dudes just goes with the flow.
Hmm.
And so, but it just hasn't come up. Our buddies. I started writing with the Mayonesas again a few weeks ago, and they're asking me when are you gonna do it. I go, I don't know. Just it hasn't came up. But dude, I'm open. If Frankie was to ask me, I would say yes. And I know if also asked Frankie, he'd say yes. It just has not come up. Frankie's been busy. He's got his two kids. He's got preteens or teens, and he's got them in sports, and he's busy with them, and then he's doing the stand up as well. So
Mhm.
I I see him, busy doing that stuff, and I don't want to interfere because that's a lot of energy. My kids, you guys have kids
Yeah.
Yeah.
raising them, not raising kids right is a lot of energy. So
Yeah.
That's
I don't want
true.
to get in the way, and but like I said, I know Frankie would be down for it. He's
Oh,
never he just easygoing dude. He just said,
yeah.
Yeah.
so
No,
that's where that's at.
because I know how hard it is, and I can imagine how harder it would even be recording a podcast with a friend. You know what I mean? Because me and Lazy, we're brothers, bro. So we know each other more than anyone could know each other, bro. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
um, when there's changes in schedules, or there's times where just we already know the vibe is just weird, or the vibe is off. We're already kind of on the same mentality. Like, man, you know what? Let's reschedule it, or let's do it earlier tomorrow, or let's do it later today. It's so easy to just make changes because we're brothers, right? But with friends, I mean, I'm sure you guys are really good friends and all, man, but it's still, I feel like it would still be very hard to somewhat schedule a podcast like that. Like you mentioned, you guys' schedules are completely different and very busy, man. But
You
um
know what? Um, I,
mhm.
I I can't say that for our podcast. Like I said, if you were to see the amounts of electronics that goes into it, the technology is just basic. I mean, bare bones. And so when like I said, when Frankie said he wanted to take a break, and that kind of gave me the sign that maybe uh, he wanted to maybe back away from it or something because it this is not the kind of podcast you take a break from because it's so easy to do. Frankie works on his way to work. He would pass by my house. We spent about an hour and a half. No planning, no sound check, no nothing. We got an iPhone plugs into two lapel microphones. We
Mm.
sit down, we say what's going on, and you're ready to record, and then comenzamos. No editing. The hardest part of the podcast was coming up with a name. I mean, Frankie come up with the name. We no sabíamos what the name was, and then you come up with the name, I'd enter it. After we were done recording, 4 minutes later, the thing was released. We wouldn't edit anything.
Oh,
It was
really?
Damn.
released. Frankie would go pass through my kitchen, grab 3 or 4 cookies, uh, head to work. So it would be like an hour and a half. So when you say you wanted a break, I go, you know what? It's not because of time. I think it's uh, maybe he had his focus somewhere else, or so I kind of understood that. That break
Mm,
was not because we couldn't. I don't think we couldn't do it because it was very easy to do.
Yeah.
Very
yeah.
easy to do. So I know him. I was reading him. I go, okay, well let's just take a break, and then it turned into an extended break, and then what? Hey, we're done. The funny part was, I had said we were done, and Frankie's like, what? I thought we were on a break. It was like Ross and Rachel, dog. I'm like, they're
how
on a break.
how long has it been? How long has it been since you guys released your last like real episode, like recent episode, you could say?
It's got to be over a year.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's got to be over a year. And since we were recording for 3 years, what I started doing was releasing old episodes.
Yeah.
And so people who were new to the podcast didn't know that. So I would get text messages, hey, happy birthday, happy 35th birthday. I go, I'm 48, I'm not 35. So you'd get some feedback from them. They would be like, "Oh, hey, how was Rosarito?" I go, "Man, we haven't been there in years," but they were listening and responding to old episodes.
Like
Yeah.
So
Merry
it's been
Christmas.
over. I think it's over 2 years. Yeah, yeah.
They're like Merry Christmas. Like, motherfucker, it's August.
They're like, "You still have COVID?" I go, "No, man, that's an old episode. Let's go."
That's crazy, bro, because I like genuinely like the shit that would get me through Mondays, bro. I would obviously listen to our own, you know what I mean? And then
Yeah,
boom, no father, no problem. That would get me through that first hump of the Monday, the first 2, 3 hours. And then, I get in the rhythm.
yeah, yeah.
And then,
We appreciate that. I love to hear people say that they like listening to your podcast. What I really enjoy is when people say, "Hey, man, that was fucking funny when you're talking about the dog shit on the sidewalk or some shit." When they coach you, that is the best, man. When they fucking
Mhm.
coach you. That's awesome. So we
Yeah.
appreciate we get that feedback. That keeps you going because you're doing something that people are listening. So that's
Yeah.
awesome.
And it's those times where you're just having a regular conversation that something funny just happens to be said, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like jokes are going back and forth and they're just hitting, bro. And it's just unplanned, but it's just like the vibe is right, everything, the
Yeah.
chemistry's right. And it's like, man, that shit was hilarious, bro. So just like, obviously we know that we're podcasters ourselves, so we pay attention to those moments, and we're like, oh, that was a good moment. So when I would listen to you guys, man, like Lazy said, bro, it was entertaining, bro. It was funny, and it was like kicking it with the homies, bro. Just having you guys in my headphones, just listen to what you guys are talking about. And one thing that I always, I mean, one of the reasons why I like listening to you guys, bro, is because you guys are older than us, bro, and you guys talk about certain experiences that I pay attention. Like as a younger dude, you would be dumb not to listen to older fools talk about experiences and not learn anything from it. So I would always appreciate certain conversations you guys had, because I was like, oh shit, like they did that and that happened. I'm gonna make sure I don't do that, so so that don't
Yeah.
happen to me. Or
You know
you know
what?
what, they did that and this good came out of it. I'm gonna make sure that I do something like that, so I can have something like that for myself. So we learn, and you also learn to do some things and learn not to do some things. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, you know what? It's little therapeutic because you find out that people can relate to you, and you're like, oh fuck, I'm not the only asshole here. There's a bunch of us. So it helps you out to know that there's a community of fucking people that think the same way you do.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
I ever one day, I during the podcast, I said, my fucking tia, man, she's always saying, de hoy en 8 días vamos a la tienda, and I go, is that Monday or fucking Sunday? What, guess 8 días, right? And I didn't fucking understand, dog. And I thought I was a fucking idiot. And someone fucking hit me up on the side and go, dude, I'm fucking lost too, man. I don't know que hoy en 8 días es, eh? So it helps you connect with people and make you understand, hey, you're not the only weirdo there. There's a lot of us.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was a authentic podcast way. You know what I mean? And I can't believe it's been that long, but me, I don't like to really get into people's business as far as getting in your DM and be like, yo, bros, what happened? Is there any beef between you guys, fall out with each other? I'm just like, let's give it some time. And I seen the re-releases coming out. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Call me a fanboy, dude, but I would listen to them again. When I would see them coming up. I know they kind of stopped recently, and I think you
Yeah.
just recently threw one on there. But I heard a lot of episodes that I hadn't heard before, because I must have started listening like. How long did you guys do it? 3 years or 4 years?
So we did 150 episodes,
Oh
Oh,
shit!
54 episodes a year. So maybe 3 years.
Yeah, 3 and some years. So
Yeah.
I still remember, like the first time I was listening to you guys, I was working on a project at the crib, and I was like, I'll listen to these fools. You know what I mean? I didn't know you guys. I don't know if
Yeah.
I think the way that I got introduced to you guys had Chicano Shuffle on your podcast. I believe so.
Okay.
And then that's kind of where I heard you guys. Then I followed it, and then when a podcast that I listened to didn't release anything, I was like, well, let me give these dudes another episode. And then boom, I was like, oh, these homies are funny, bro. You know what I mean? Like like Frankie, like natural, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. He seems like a funny, and once you get to know him, he's like a timid dude. But then you kind of hear him and you're like, he can be a bit of an asshole too, but he like contains himself. You know what I mean? He's like,
Hey, you know what? With time, at first everybody thought Chinook's an asshole and Frankie's the nice guy. But as time went on, they're like, I don't think it's that way, you know?
yeah,
You know what? Frankie's old school. He's set to his ways. So
yeah,
uh, he is the way he is.
yeah.
But at the same time, we got to know you guys like more on a personal level when you guys came down to do the thing in
Latino happy
Arval
hour.
in
Yeah.
Long Beach, and we
Mhm.
hung out with you guys, and that was Pisteando. That's the day Vicente passed away, right?
The weekend, yeah.
That same. No, it was the same day. La misma hora. We were
Oh
at a
yeah.
bar,
Yeah.
and
Oh
he had
yeah.
died. He had died with a shit 10 minutes ago, right? And
Yeah.
almost Cristiano. So we got to guys to know you guys. So you guys, you see what Frankie and I are like in the real life. You know, we try to be who we are. You know, and that's who you guys saw that day. That's exactly who we are, man. Borrachos, you know.
And
No,
dude, you
and
know,
we appreciated that, bro, because that was our last day in Cali. You know, when we met up at that bar, and you know, we was kicking it with Alfred, Ceviche Joe, was kicking it with you and Frankie, and some of you guys' ladies, and some of your guys' other homies. And bro, it felt like we knew each other, bro. It felt like, you know, like we grew up with each other or like we're related or something, bro. Because we would the vibe was just that good, bro. And I guess, you know, since we listened to each other's podcasts or whatever, and then kind of go back and forth on messages here and there, it felt like we already knew each other, man. So it was really cool, man, to hang out with you guys, have some drinks and yeah, bro. Like you said, Chenta died, and then we were all drunk singing Chenta songs when you know, when the DJ started playing nothing but Chenta, bro. That shit was memorable, man.
No, but even
Oh
before
yeah,
that,
yeah.
even before that, like we went to that restaurant earlier that day.
At Tepeyac,
Tepeyac,
Yeah,
and what
in
was that
East LA.
burrito
Yep.
called? What was that burrito called?
the manual special or the Hollenback. I'm not sure what you guys had.
Hollenback, the Hollenback.
Yeah.
That was ridiculous. I wish I could have ate more of it, but you already know we went to went to El Pino, and we're checking out the memorable situations, bro. Like from Blood In Blood Out. You know, we're big fans of that movie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, I don't know if you remember, but I had to take a fucking shit. And I was like, bro, I was so scared, bro. I didn't think I was gonna make it to the bathroom, bro. So, you know,
Yo, we're walking through that what's that called, bro? Like
El Mercadito.
El Mercadito. We're walking through the Mercadito. I know I'm chilling looking at what people are selling at the stands. I can just imagine ladies sweating like a motherfucker, bro, looking for a bathroom.
no, it hadn't hit yet, bro. But yeah, it was a good experience, bro. And like me and Smiley were talking about it. Our ladies really appreciated too, bro, because they were like, "Oh, dang, like Chonuc didn't have to do it." Like we're the kind of vatos, bro, that don't like to like ask for too much. You know what I'm saying? But you like when people offer, it's like, bro, we appreciate that because we can sense the hospitality and be like, "Yo, bro,
Yeah.
that was cool what Chonuc did for us, bro. Like showing us around, taking the time, taking us cruising in his ride, going to El Pino, going to East Los." He showed us like all the spots that you guys were growing up
No,
at.
no te pongas a llorar,
No,
güey.
no, no, no,
It
no.
was it was a good time, pero no pa
No,
tanto,
no, no, no.
güey.
I ain't gonna cry. I ain't gonna cry. I just had to catch my breath. But we still talk about that, bro. And we're like, bro, like you even showed us, like, bro, when somebody comes to our city, like, bro, we're gonna go show them the city like Chonuc did to us. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of like what we're talking about, bro. Like hanging out with like real dudes, hanging out with cool dudes. We learn stuff from each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. That was a good time, man. That was a good time. And you know what? I had the when I found out you guys are cutting me down, man. I was looking forward, looking for opportunity. The day
Yeah.
of the show, I think we were down in Long Beach, and I gave you guys a call, man. Hey, we're down here drinking, eating. Come down, but you guys are already busy doing something else, man. It's like, all right, we'll
Yeah.
get them. We'll get them later on at Tepeyac, and then we went on to Gloria's. That was a pretty cool bar down there, down at
Yeah.
Gloria's. We
Yeah.
had a good time, man. My vieja got pedo that day, man. You know what? And I'm glad she did because we left. Because if not, I would have got pedo. Dog, you know what I mean? I'd rather her get pedo, take her home, than I get pedo and make a fool of myself. You know? She saved me from myself.
No,
No.
it was a dope time, bro. We really appreciated that.
But you know, talking about you and your wife, man, like, you know, like we mentioned, bro, we listen to your listen you used to listen to your podcast all the time. And you always talk about going to Mexico for vacation bro, it sounds like you go at least 4 times a year, or if not more, bro. Like, um,
4 times a month, like.
so what is it with that, bro? What is it about it that you just find yourself wanting to go down there so much, and you just want to go down there and just chill and drink, or what is it, bro? Like how do you manage to do all that, man?
Well, I don't know if you guys are aware, but where I'm at now at home, 2.5 hours from Rosarito, from the Rosarito Beach Hotel. So I can get to the border in 2 hours. I can get to my hotel in another half hour, and I'm in Mexico.
Damn.
I'm in
Damn.
Mexico eating pata de mula and almejas and fucking drinking barrilitos you don't get here. There's some stuff going on over there. Plus, I don't know if you know this, but the Mexicans from Mexico are way nicer than the Mexicans from the people from the United States, the Mexicans from here. Because the
Yeah.
Mexicans from here have gone through the stress and everything else. In Mexico, everybody's fucking happy. You can pass by anybody, dude. Buenos dias, and they'll stop whatever the fuck they're doing, and they'll turn around and say, "Buenos dias." They're
Mhm.
still happy over there. It's a whole different place over there. So, Rosarito, we would go to twice a month. I mean, we would go there all the time.
Oh wow.
A while back, my wife and I discovered Cancun. They told me, you got to go to Cancun. You got to go try out the Rayu Las Americas. All adults, no kids allowed. All adults. So it's pretty fucking awesome. And we got there. Hey, I'll tell you that I'm at the beach at the hotel, dog, and it's all adults. And I'm drinking a beer, and a fucking pregnant lady walks by. Well, get her the fuck out of here, man. She's fucking.
He said no
no, no,
kids.
no, no kids allowed. I think there's a baby in there. No, la verga. But it's fucking awesome. They cater to adults, so it's fucking pretty cool. So it's just people are different on there. They treat you better, and just it's nice.
So
Plus,
you
it's a lot cheaper también. It's a lot cheaper. If I was to stay in a hotel in, let's say, Malibu or somewhere by the beach here in Southern California, to do the same thing that I do in Mexico, man, it'd be 4 times the cost. You
Mhm.
know, the all inclusive. Fuck, man, I really weigh in on the all inclusive, though. I fucking put them away. Fuck, I don't know. When I show up, I don't know how they fucking make money, dude. I really don't, man.
Ya llegó este güey otra vez.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hey,
Man, I don't fuck around. I put it away and have a good time.
bring
So
your,
I enjoy myself down there more than I would over here.
yeah, bro, and Rosarito, I know it's like very close to the border, obviously. Do
Yeah.
you exchange your money, or can you pay with American money?
When you're that close to the border, they take dollars. They take
Okay.
dollars. Once you get further in, like right now, my wife's family, they're all down in Durango for the fiestas, and down
Mm.
there you want to do the exchange because sometimes they don't take dollars. They want to take pesos. So I'll exchange if I'm going there at the airport in Tijuana before we fly down there. I'll go to an ATM and they'll give me pesos, and I'll use that down
Mm,
there. Or
okay.
at the bank in Durango, I'll pull out pesos. So I try to use pesos when I'm deep. When I'm over here towards the border towns, dollars work just as well.
Dope,
And
dope.
I think they prefer the dollar as well.
Yeah, I mean, even though the looks like the peso is what's it called? The peso is worth more than it used to be, right? Compared to the dollar.
Yeah, yeah. It's the dollar is dropping. When we were there 2 years ago, I think I was 23 for every dollar. Right now, we're at 17 or 18 for every dollar.
Wow.
That fucking bank over in Silicon Valley fell apart, and all of a sudden the fucking dollar is falling apart. Yeah, along with everything else that's going on around the world. But listen, we're not gonna talk about that today, right? It's not that podcast.
It's not that kind of podcast.
Hey, so
Yeah, yeah.
so how do they treat you? You said they treat you nice, bro. Like, but do they know that you're like American?
Well, not that they know you're American, but because no, they know I'm Mexican. They know I'm Mexican, but they know I'm from that side just by the way I speak.
Hmm.
My Spanish does not compare to their Spanish. We're speaking two
Right.
different. It's Spanish, but two different languages. So
Yeah.
I say buenos dias, and they're like, "Oh, this guy's from the United States." But they treat everybody well there. Because down in Cancun, that place, uh, everybody around the world shows up. You talk to somebody, you're chilling in the pool, drinking and bullshitting with people, and you got guys from Australia, you got guys from a lot of people from Canada going down there, trying to getting away from the cold weather, so they shoot down there. So you got every nationality down there. So uh, they just treat you well because they want you to go back. They want that tourist dollar down there.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah, they need that tourist dollar down there, and they treat you well because you tip a little bit too as well. So
yeah. So what's up with because you've gone recently, right? What's up with the vibe of people saying don't visit Mexico? You know what I mean? Because there was a situation that happened with like I think 2 Americans got killed. Do you notice any difference?
You know what? When I go to Rosarito, when they say go to Cancun, or um, they're the tourist places. They take care of you. They don't want they don't want you coming out in the news because it impacts all the tourism.
Mm-hmm.
And once that drops, their economy drops.
Mm-hmm.
So they try to take care of you. You go down there and they see you're a tourist, dude, everything's fine. I would say the people who have gotten into trouble or shit has happened to them, they were looking for something. They were at the wrong place at the wrong time. Someone's trying to look for a veinte down the street. Someone's, they're looking for the wrong shit and they just got caught up. And then that
Yeah.
shit comes out in the news. Yeah, you know what? If you look, let's say same as LA. If you're in Los Angeles, if you look for it, you're gonna fucking find it.
Mm.
Same thing down there. If you stay in your lane, you'll be good. You'll be good.
Yeah.
So I've never had any problems, and I've been down there a lot. Never had any problems.
Mm.
Now, when I've been in Durango, I've never had any problems either. But you can see that element. It's a lot closer. It's a lot closer. You
Mm.
can see it, and you kind of really got to stay in your lane. I mean, the lane gets really fucking narrow, so you really got to stay in your lane, and you gotta act right, because um, you know, down there, law enforcement are not the ones that keep people in line. And the people
Mm-hmm.
who keep people in line down there don't fuck around. So you got to stay in your lane down there. But at the same time, if you stay in your lane, you do your thing, you go have fun. No one's gonna fuck with you. They don't fuck with you. Everything's fucking cool. But that's it. You look for it, you will find it down in Mexico. You
Yeah.
want pedo? Just fucking pedo there for you.
So I remember listening to one of your episodes that you had bought some terrenos down there, bro. Like, are you have you done anything with the terreno you got?
So I got some terreno down in Durango. It's in the same pueblo. No, I don't want to say pueblo because pueblo's big. It's in the same rancho as where the family from Oxo de Loya's from.
Oh.
So
Mm.
down there, they were selling it to me, and they built it up, man. You know what? This terreno is take off. The town's growing, and I bought it. I shouldn't have. I should have really looked into it, but just a la brava, I went and bought it. Then after I had it, I went down there, started looking around, and realizing those places are shrinking. And I'll give you an example. I think I've talked about this in some of our last episodes, but down there, say 40, 50 years ago, there was a lot of work. A lot of work. A lot of people would grow el frijol. They had to grow it by hand or with fucking mules and dig up the ground, do everything by hand.
Hmm.
40 years later, you got one John Deere tractor does the job of 50 people.
Mm.
So there's no more work down there. Fucking two John Deere tractors eliminated the whole workforce down there. So everybody's looking for work. So what's happening to that town? It's shrinking and shrinking. And, I'll say 2 generations from now, that place is going to be deserted because grandparents pass away. After them, the parents, after they pass away, who's going to be left? Everybody's here in the United States,
Mm.
and they don't know about that place. They've never even been there. So I say 2 more generations, and that place is going to be empty, and it's just going to be one guy who owns a big property with 3 John Deere tractors doing all the frijol in the area. So I think it was a bad deal when I bought the property.
Mm.
It's still there. I haven't done anything with it because I don't expect it to grow. I don't expect
Mm.
it to grow. So it was a bad move on my part.
So do you have family there that like watch over it at least, or you're just not too worried about
So it's my wife's side of the family that lives in
it?
that little part. It's called Ignacio Ramirez, little small rancho, and half the town is related to my wife, related to me, and the other half of the town is married to that family. So you don't
Oh
really gotta
damn.
watch it. Yeah, you don't really gotta watch it, because it's not like that there. It's I don't. It's just dirt right now. No one's trying to steal your dirt. No one's trying to spend money to put something on the dirt because it's like I said, there's homes there that are brand new and they're just falling apart because no one lives in them.
Hey, but at
And
least
that's
at least
that's where
you
that's going.
At least you can be one of the tios or the dads now that can just brag about having terrenos in Mexico, bro.
You know what? It's every Mexican's goal to have their kids fight over the terreno. You know what I mean? I want to be old and shit, dying, and my kids, it's mi terreno, and you love me more and shit like that. That's my goal, to have them fight over my terreno, even though it ain't worth shit, you know?
It's funny, bro, because I seen those memes where it's like the tios and the parents fighting over the terrenos, and then it has like a little lettering that says the terreno, and it's just like dirt, and it's like a concrete walls. And
Una barda.
a veces it just has a barda, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
that's what
But
it is, man. All I have is dirt. I got lucky. I got a tree on it. And that's about it, man. They're like, "What is the terreno?" I go, "The one with the tree on it," and that's it, man. That's how they measure it over there.
so like the terreno thing is a popular thing, right? But in my immediate family or close, I've never really met like, oh, esos hermanos ya no se hablan porque se pelearon por el terreno, or somebody took more than they should have. Have you ever met anybody that really fell out with family over a terreno?
I could say that in my wife's family, they didn't fall out over terreno, but there was strong concerns. When the grandparents passed away and they had a big terreno with, they had a house on it. And so there was strong concerns about who was going to have what. And I'm pretty sure the family was tight. So that's why it worked out. But you could tell that if they were not close, shit would have got fucking real over there. But
Mm.
they found a way to work it out, and everything ended up, correct. So everything worked out. But like if they were not close, dude, it would have been, in the middle of the street, fucking decir, "Funda, cabrón," it would have been like that, But
over
they got
here,
along. Everything worked out okay.
yeah, over here, bro. I met one coworker, and I've heard it. It's very popular over here. I guess you could say it's similar to terreno, but over here is over cabins. Like the parents' cabin. Se mueren, and then they start fighting over the cabin. Because the cabin does come with a few acres most of the time. So even widows go through the same shit, bro.
You know what though? I don't understand it, because that's all paperwork. It's whoever is best with the pen that's gonna take over that. Whoever's best at filling out paperwork, who's gonna keep it. Out
Yeah.
there in the ranchos is whoever's best with the fucking that down there. But over here is, hey, get yourself a good lawyer. It's all done. It's a little different.
Yeah.
Compared to Mexico.
But it's definitely like a señor and señora flex, bro. And you can say, tenemos terrenos allá en Mexico, bro. You know what I mean? It's like,
Oh yeah.
it just sounds dope, bro. It just sounds like, yo, we ain't up here for nothing. We got terrenos back in the motherland, man.
You sound Italian, huh? Mi terreno, like that. I don't know why I do my hand like that. I don't know, but it feels right. Mine, mi corazón.
Nah,
Yeah.
man, but yeah.
And the whole terreno is worth $3,000. That's it, man. It's not like I got 80K in it or nothing like that.
Oh,
It's
okay.
$3,000. So
Okay.
it's not, man. I shouldn't be holding all figures up here too.
No, you gotta flex, bro. Still, I was thinking, damn, Chonuc dropped like 30 racks, like 30 G's over there, bro.
No, not even. 3,000, and I overpaid. Man.
They got you. They're like,
They got no. I'll tell you. When that happened, I found out that they got me, and I was like, you know what? I'll send it back to you for half the price. Give me half back. And they're like, I don't know about that. Yeah, when you were selling it to me, it was like a good idea, but when I was sending it back to you for half the price, all of a sudden you got to think about it. So they said, yeah, they got me. They got me.
They were like, no, me quieres transear, güey, no
Bro, that's like the biggest insult, bro. Like that's like
Right?
the biggest fucking scam. It's like, bro, just take your shit back and at least give me half my money. Nah, fam, it ain't even worth half.
They start asking questions. Is it near a beach? You sold it to me. You know where it's at.
Can you grow something in this land?
Right? Yeah.
That's
No, that's
crazy,
funny, bro. But you also had you also had talks on your podcast, bro, about possibly once you retire or even retiring early and going back to Mexico, is that still something that you got in your plans? And if you do, like, where would you plan on retiring? Like, where would you live if you did that?
You know what? Those plans or those ideas uh, they were a reaction to um, me and my wife being empty nesters. So when
Mm,
my kids all went away, and my wife and I were by ourselves, I can tell you, I almost went nuts. You know, you go to
mm,
the, having that empty nester syndrome it's a real deal, man. So
mm,
your whole life you go, you live it, and you have kids, and my job is to make sure that they don't die of hunger, make sure they have a roof over their head. That was my job. And you just put your
mm,
head down, you move forward, and I got to do this, I got to do this. And then when all that those responsibilities, when they go away, it's a funny feeling, dude. And it's a funny feeling. You don't know how to react to it. You're like, fuck, can I retire now? Can I leave? What am I gonna do? The truth, I didn't know what to do with myself. I was down in Mexico fucking picking up Volkswagen and was bringing them back over here, dude. I drove that Volkswagen Bug. I drove that shit 1,800 miles in the desert with no top on it, dog solito with sandals on and shit, And that was all a reaction, just not knowing how
Hey,
to
no
fill in
wonder
that time or
no wonder the cartel didn't fuck with you. They're like that man, that motherfucker's crazy. Yeah, they're like we don't know who he's with, but that motherfucker crazy.
Hey,
yeah.
that's a fucking Amazon short film right there,
Oh yeah, that was a crazy drive, man. That was a crazy ride back, but that was all a reaction to being an empty nester and just not knowing how what to do. My wife started going to the gym, and she turned to fucking the Incredible Hulk in the gym. She had a way out. She did good with her time. I didn't do good with my time with all that extra energy and not feeling needed no more. I think that was rough. Not feeling needed no more,
Mm,
and knowing that these kids are independent. All of a sudden, you're not useless, but you're they don't need you no more. That was weird. So all those plans about retiring early and all that was just based on that reaction of
way.
being an empty nester. That
Well,
was,
do you
and now,
do
now,
you
now I think that things se andan calmando.
do you think that was a little bit of depression in there as
Yeah,
well?
I could say, yeah, depression, just um, and the what was bad about it is that you don't know you're going through it until someone tells you, like, hey man, what the fuck? I think Frankie told me, but my wife told me, goes, what's wrong with you? And I go, I don't know. Is there something wrong with you? Well, yeah, you're off. Something's,
mm,
and it was all a reaction to that because there
Mm,
was a big gap in me, a big hole in me that used to be filled, and all of a sudden it's not, and I don't know, I didn't know how to react to it. I
mm,
was I was always the provider and I was always the father figure, and then I wasn't anymore. So I think that just depression. They went. I didn't know how to respond to it. That was rough. So all those ideas that you're talking about, me wanting to retire, that was just me reacting to that.
mm.
And now
do you,
that some time has passed, and I sat back and thought about it. I'm thinking a little bit differently about retirement now. I'm gonna wait a little bit longer, but at that moment, it was like, you know what? Fuck, this is fucking leave. No one depends on me no more. Let's get the fuck out of here. And
do
it,
you, do you
it sounded good at the beginning. I'm like, I'm free. Let's get the fuck out of here. But I didn't think it all through.
you're like I can walk around the house naked now?
Oh, yeah.
What's it
Oh,
called?
yeah.
Do you think you had a little pride, a little too much pride to let anyone know that you missed them? Do you think you had too much pride to let your daughters know you missed them, and or your wife know that you're like, man, I feel kind of like useless now? Like, do you think you had a little bit of that too, or did you even notice that?
You know what? I think that I didn't know I missed them, or
Mm,
not that I missed them because they were local and I would see them, but that I was needed anymore. I think that
mm,
I wasn't needed no more, and that's the part that was probably rough. Missing them, they were around. We would see them all the time,
Mm,
but I'm not needed no more. So I think that was the part that was hard to get used to. And even to this date, I'm still adjusting to it. I'm still
mm,
because I was set on a schedule, on a mindset, and this is what I did all the time. And things changed, and I didn't change along with it.
mm,
So even to this date, I'm learning to um, not take people for granted. You
mm,
know, my wife, my kids. I'm learning that. Even to I mean to this day because it's um, like I said, 20 years go by, 30 years go by, and you're working a certain schedule. When they change it on you, it's hard to adjust. And that's what that was. It was just, I had to adjust, and it was hard for me to do.
That means
because
you.
you
That means, yeah. Go ahead.
you're because you're a dad of four girls, right?
Correct.
So like that already, like having girls, you already kind of have a, I mean, you want to protect all your kids, but I think having girls, it's another little extra layer of protection that you want to provide for your kids. So how was it being a dad of four girls, man? Was that how was that experience? Because I know a lot of people, when you're young, you're like, man, I don't want to have girls because I'm going to pay for everything I did in my youth and all that. So how was it when once you started having kids and they were all girls and all that? Like, how was that experience for you, man?
You know what? My wife, I could say my wife picked up a lot of the heavy lifting. She did a lot of the raising of the girls. My job was to, you know, support them and have a roof over their head. But at the same time, I was always I was very open with my girls, very open with my girls when it comes to um, like nowadays. What's the big thing? Sexuality. Are your kids gonna be gay? Are they gonna be straight? And I always told my girls, I go, hey, if you girls want to be gay, want to be straight, just be happy. Just be happy
Mm.
because you see so many. You see so many people are so many guys are married to women and vice versa, and they're just doing it to please their fathers. I go, don't worry about pleasing me.
Mhm.
You'll be happy. You do what's gonna make you happy.
Mhm.
And so I was always very open with them when it came to that.
Like
And then
around what
plus
age?
because
Like
I
around.
didn't have boys, I was always very rough with my girls. So
Mm.
I raised them rough. I mean, we would rough house and elbows and despotic. I was always really rough with my kids, and I didn't realize how rough I was with my girls until um
They got
my
in a street
my
fight.
my daughter my daughter's boyfriend's like nephews would come over the house and I play with them and I would grab them and they would I immediately go and what the fuck's happening? He goes, Dad, that's not, they don't play like that over there. Oh fuck. Like I was broke one of them. I go, fuck, I'm fucking sorry. He goes, Dad, no, they don't roughhouse over there like we do with us. I go, oh, okay, Mijo, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't realize till I was older. I was treating them like boys, but you know, they grew up tough. So
Yeah.
it's eh, we did the best we could, and my wife can say my wife. I give my wife more of the credit for that. She
Well,
she she did a lot of the heavy lifting when it came to that.
so you mentioned that you talked to them about like sexuality or like their preference and all that. Like what like around what age did you start like letting them know how you feel about that? Like, hey, you know what, like whatever you decide to be in life or whatever gender you prefer to like in life or whatever, um it's okay with me. I just want you to be happy. Like around what age did you start having that conversation? Because I feel like I don't want to put it like that, but like I feel like in California you see a lot more than Minnesota, because California it's more sunny year round. People are out more often. Over here in Minnesota, sometimes with the weather we indoors a lot more, and California is a little
Okay.
more free in general. So I'm sure that the conversation started a little earlier because you're just out there and you see things. So do you remember like around what age you started having these conversations with them?
You know what? With all kids, it has nothing to do with age. It has to do with their maturity level. You got. Sometimes you have a daughter that's a lot more mature, and you have that conversation with her earlier. Some kids take a little while to bloom, so you wait a little bit later. But because they were always together, when you had it with one, you would kind of have it with everybody. So we'd be at the dinner table, and I'd be talking about, hey, whatever makes you happy, you go ahead and you do whatever you want. Boy, girl, whatever it is, just be happy. So when I would tell the older one, the little one would hear. So there would be a big window in age. So you got the 14-year-old and you got the 5-year-old and this, and you're like, okay, I guess they can play with Betty at at the playground, but they would listen to it. I think also the one part that I did wait um for them to get older at my wife's request was my wife's I was raised Catholic, first communion and all the formalities. my wife's Catholic, and but now at my age, I'm agnostic. I've been agnostic for like 20 years, But my wife kind of wanted me to kind of keep that to myself, Let's make sure that they're old enough to understand, to make their own decision. So I held back on my religious beliefs with my kids at my wife's request. Plus, I understand what she's saying, It's it's best that they have rules than no rules at all, because of what I believe, my belief is different. Her belief has rules, so I would rather them follow her Catholic belief. So I waited when it came to religion. Yes, I waited. But the sexuality, like I said, like you said, you see it everywhere. You see it everywhere. Like their coach at high school looks like a dude. It's probably a dude, but it's a man. You know what I mean? Like a girl, kind of. So like all high school coaches, all females, they look like dudes. So they see that a little sooner than everybody else, But my religious beliefs, I waited longer.
Hey, kids nowadays, they don't know the kind of gym teachers we had, man. We grew up in a different era, man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, them yeah. Now that you think about it, they all kind of look similar, right? Short hair, kind of curls.
They kind of like Mel Gibson in the 80s, right? Kind of had that look, right? What's their back hair and shit,
What's it called though? Not to get too deep into religion and your beliefs también, pero do you believe that like inserting religion or just inserting like good family values and morals, is there a huge difference between both of them, or is it kind of the same thing?
So I have a couple of different answers for that. So let's say me, I don't believe in religion, right? But for the most part, I follow most of the rules. You don't gotta tell me that it's a sin to kill somebody. I follow that rule just because. There's certain things that just go without saying, right? The only difference is I don't believe in all the other. No, I don't say shit. I don't believe in all the other things that Catholics believe in, right? I don't gotta believe in Noah's Ark and this and that to understand that I don't gotta kill somebody. You know what I mean? So I tend to stick to the rules. I stick to the rules without following all the fairy tales and pixie dust and all that stuff. So um, I that's the way I see it. I still follow the rules. If I die tomorrow and they heaven exists and I go up there, he's gonna say, you know what, you didn't believe in me. But fuck, goddamn it, you followed all the rules and you did the right shit. I go, well, you don't gotta follow you to follow the rules. You know what I mean? I still did. I still got an A without following you.
I don't know about an A. You probably be 70% is a passing grade. Still.
You got a C. You got a C. A C minus. You got a C minus.
I'm still in there, man. That's the way I see it. Let me ask you guys this. Let's say you guys are born on an island, right? Religion doesn't exist. You guys turn 18 years old. You guys come to the United States, and they introduce you to the Bible. You guys can open up this Bible and say, "God damn, this fiction? What is this?" Because you're already an adult and you can think for yourself. Yeah. That's why religion gets you when you're young. First communion, they do all that to scare you into believing it. That's why they get you when you're young. They can't get an 18-year-old South thinker to follow religion because it's gonna sound like a joke when you're told the rules of the Bible as an adult. So a lot of the stuff that Catholics believe, it's out of fear because they put that shit in them when they were kids, so they're scared not to believe. So those are my thoughts.
I think that's most religions, though.
Do you believe in the devil?
You know who the devil is?
Who?
Me. I'm always no. Hear me out.
This episode has come to an end.
I am the devil.
The reason I say that is because I've always been my own worst enemy. When things go well, I thank me. When things go bad, I blame me. I don't thank God for good things happening. I don't blame the devil for bad things happening. It's always been me all along. So it's like, who's the devil? Fuck me, man. When I'm at the bar drinking beer and I'm fucking thinking about doing crazier shit, That was me. The devil's never invited me. Hey, let's fuck around. I got a 20 in the car. No, the devil never did that shit. The devil, a tight motherfucker. He never nunca les para el pinky diablo.
I
So you say
mean,
if I believe the devil? Yeah, it is me.
I mean, yeah, I mean, everyone has the right to believe in whatever they want to believe in, and I think that's the beauty of it, right? Just like in sexuality, just like in religion, just like in politics, everyone has the right to believe in whatever they want to believe in. That doesn't mean everyone's going to agree or understand it, but what's what's cool about becoming an adult, bro, and especially in these last few years that we've experienced all these crazy times in politics, it it shows you that you just need to learn how to um, be more mature about things.
Coexist.
Coexist, but you
Yeah.
got to be more mature about how you handle it, and just be more understanding on things, and just don't be so quick to go at it with one another because I'll tell you this, we grew up in a Christian home. We ain't gonna make this religion talk too long, but we grew up in a Christian home, and I remember there was a time where it's not like I was living the most Christian holy life, right? But there was times where like some of me and my Catholic friends will be going back and forth on what's real, what's not. Christians are more, I don't know, there's more right than the Catholic. Fighting like if I'm really living that real life, so um because we're just so like you mentioned, you grow up having all these strong beliefs that you're just fighting and defending it with everything, right? But once you get older, you just start being more understanding of how we all come from different families, different backgrounds, different religions, and different beliefs and different experiences, bro. Because um, there's experiences in my life that make me believe that God is real. Because just like I've seen good things in life, I've seen bad things in life, and I felt bad energies, bad spirit vibes. So it's one of those things that is like, if there's a negative, there has to be a positive. You know what I mean? And if there's a positive, there has to be a negative, just like in anything. So, but yeah, man, I appreciate your answer because, it seems like nowadays it's very common for people to just be like, you know what, I don't believe in God. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think free thinkers, that's good, bro. In any aspect of religion, politics, that's the hard one for me to understand. People, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm not even gonna go there. I think my problem with religion, I think one of the biggest things is that that people don't live life to the fullest because they believe in religion. If you really 100% believe that the minute you die, that's it. There is no afterlife. A lot of people live their life the way they do because they think they're going somewhere better, they do better shit, and they're gonna end up fucking in Cancun somewhere. I believe that the minute I'm fucking dead, that's it. That's
yeah,
done. So you want to live your life to the fullest because this is the only life you have. People don't do that. People don't do that. People
yeah,
are waiting for something better after. I don't believe that, and I feel bad because they didn't live their life to the fullest because they
yeah,
thought something else was coming after it. You know?
yeah. And I feel that to an extent. You know what I mean? Because there's been times in my life where you might think you're gonna die young. You know what I mean? You might think like, oh, bro, like I don't know if I'm gonna be here for the next 5 years, or I don't know if my girl's gonna be here in the next 5 years. What am I? What are we
Holding back.
holding back of? What am I holding back to go party and everybody just have fun, or quit your job, and you know what I mean? Like shit.
don't quit your job
No,
now.
no, no.
No. I agree with you. There was a time. There was a time during that whole transition of being an empty nester that I had told myself and I told my wife, I go, I'm not gonna say no to anything anymore. Because I get invited. Hey, cochinos, take it easy.
Swing your vibes.
Not
God,
just
Mr.
that,
Chonuc.
not just that. Like, te llega un vato, hey, yes, let's go. I ain't gonna say no, nothing.
Yes, man. Yes, man.
you and your twin brother. So I told my wife, I go, I always get invited. My friends are always inviting me to different places, and I always turn it down. Turn it down because I had no explanation why. You know what? I'm gonna start doing more. I'm gonna start doing more because we gotta live. We gotta live because this is the only life that we're gonna have. You know. You know, there's no second chances. There's no redo, man. After this is done, so why not do the best you can? Why not, get up every morning and say, I'm gonna fucking whatever I do today is gonna be the fucking best thing I'm gonna fucking do because it might end. They make every day the craziest, the drunkest, whatever it is, fucking be good at it. Because after this, that's it.
The devil is very happy with you, my friend.
Okay. But the new wakes up at 5 a.m. Hoy me voy a poner una peda, cabrón.
The devil told me to do this.
The devil's like, I don't even gotta try with this guy. He's exactly where I want him.
Easy pickings.
No, but
at the same time, if I die and religion and all that shit exists, I'm gonna go to hell and I'm gonna be a high-ranking person down in fucking hell, dog. I'm gonna go down there with a couple of stripes on my fucking shoulders and shit. Hey, Chonuc, we've been waiting for you. You got a sweet. All right, let's go, man.
Oh, that's funny, man. But switching it up, bro. Kind of going back to raising your daughters. Like you said, you had those talks with them and all that stuff, man. Like, at what ages did they start giving you little hints of like, you know what, like I have a crush on this boy, or like stuff like that? Did they go more to, I'm sure they went more to their mom for stuff like that, but like when did you start catching wind of like, oh shit, like this is not my little girl anymore, she's starting to be interested in boys now? Like, do you remember that, how you felt during those times?
Well, you know what? You see your kids, you pay attention to them, and you're on the playground, and you notice they're playing. All of a sudden, they look to their left and they see a boy there, and you notice, hey, my little girl's paying a lot of attention to this kid. So from the minute that happens, you notice that they notice another kid on that playground as a male, and they notice them already. Say like, okay, well, she knows she likes boys, and yeah, she's already has that attention,
Attraction.
Yeah, so it comes in different ages. When they start, boyfriends and all this stuff, that's all down the line. But at a young age, that they're like, they got posters of little boys on their in their bedroom and stuff like that. That comes at a really, really young age. Once they're a little older, then that's when boyfriends and whatnot come to play. But they're very young when you notice that they're paying attention to boys.
Do you ever go against posters or music or stuff like that? Did it ever cross your mind to be like, no, you're too young to hang up that poster of Justin Bieber or some shit like that?
You know what? I went against it for the wrong reasons.
You're like, a mí también me están gustando. Take the posters down.
Well, take this poster off your wall and I put it on my wall, right? What's that beaver? So I wasn't against it, but I always try to introduce them to good music. And when we'd be driving, I would play a lot of Led Zeppelin for them. Music, I don't know if you guys are aware, but Led Zeppelin Physical Graffiti is older than me. But if you play Kashmir, you play House of the Holy. That fucking music is awesome. You sit down and you put some headphones on and you listen to that music. It is awesome. It has withstood the test of time. So when my kids are listening to fucking Justin Bieber and that fucking song sucks, that bothers me. I go, man, you guys, there's so much good music out there. So I would try to introduce them to better music that would just would stood the test of time. And the problem was that because I'm their father, they're not gonna accept it. So 10 years go by, the movie Iron Man comes out, and then in the fucking movie, fucking Black Sabbath sings fucking Iron Man. And they're like, Dad, that's an awesome song. I'm like, you motherfuckers, I've been trying to tell you guys about that song for years. But because it was their dad, they're like, oh, you're old, you don't know what they're talking about. But fucking Iron Man comes out and Robert Downey Jr. tries to fucking introduce Iron. Then they get it. Then they hear Adam Sandler plays a lot of AC/DC in his movies. And all of a sudden they're like back in black. So it took time, but I went against their stuff because it was shit. it was shit, you know. And
You know,
I wanted to zoom too good.
they probably didn't even notice it, but the reason probably why they liked it so much and is because it, without even knowing, subconsciously it brought them back to a time or their body or their ears or their mind, I don't know, somehow already had heard that song at a good time of their life. You know what I mean? Subconsciously, bro. You know, sometimes you don't even realize, sometimes like, oh shit, I already heard this without even knowing it. But I like
Yeah.
that. I like that, man, because that's something that I do myself, man. Like I'll listen to music that is not like the popular music right now, you know, because I just want my kids to be exposed to different type of talent and creativity. I don't want them to be like, this is what's out right now and this is the only thing that exists, you know, because I gotta be
Mm-hmm.
honest, bro. When I was young, I didn't get exposed to a lot of different stuff. It was more till I got older, till I had to go look for. I started hearing songs that were way older now, but I was like, damn, I didn't even hear that when it was coming out, you know, because I was so into like just rap, 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 rap. You know what I mean? So like now around my kids, bro, I'll listen to like the Beatles, I'll listen to Queen, I'll listen to all different types of those music, and then I'll hear my kids singing and humming it. You know, I'm like, okay, that's cool. You know, so they like it. You know, without even knowing that they're that they're really listening to some really talented musicians that back
Mm-hmm.
when people really used to write the music and write the songs and all that stuff used to be like very real. You know what I mean? Even though like you know, nowadays I also like the music that's coming out. I mean, some of the music that's coming out now, but I always want them to know like don't just feel like this is what you have to like. Don't just because you're Mexican, don't think that we just have to like Mexican music or we just
Mm-hmm.
have to like rap music because I listen to rap music sometimes or a lot of the time, or don't think we're forced to listen to this type of music because of how we look. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I make sure I
Yeah. No.
expose them.
Yeah, I agree. I like not only that with the way they dress. I'm like, do you like the way you look in that, or are you doing it because it's in style? Because those are two different things.
Mm.
You look good in it, or you do it because it's a style. It's rare when the two are present at the same time. Is
Mm.
la moda or it looks good,
Mm.
and I try to make them understand that, you know. But when they're kids, it's hard to put that in their head, and then you also got to remember, man, how was I dressed at their age? I look like a
Mm-hmm.
fucking fool, man. You know, baggy ass pants and whatnot. So you got to understand them, but nobody was there to tell me the difference, and you're trying to teach them the difference. Do what
Yeah.
looks good. You know.
Mm.
So
I
talking
seen a
about
I seen a
my bad,
picture
Izzy.
of you. I seen a picture of you back in the day. You look like you belonged in American Me or Blood On Blood Out or something, bro.
You know what? I've never had that gangster look. I was never
You
like
didn't think you did. You didn't think you did, but
well,
it was
He
kind
just had the
of
homie look. He had the
he had
homie
the
look.
homie look. Yeah, 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 the homie look.
probably, but like when I was in high school, it was the rebel look. I had like
Mm.
the biker boots and the leather jacket. I had that, and
You were
then after
listening.
that,
You were
I
listening to
what's up?
Morrissey back then, huh?
The Cure, and and you know what? That music still also withstands the test of time. It's still good
Yeah.
to this day, you know. And so it was the look of the day. That's what I was following, the look of the day, and that's what
Mm.
everybody did, you know. So
Mhm.
you got to understand your kids for doing what they're doing, but at the same time, try to make them understand. You know, maybe those ripped jeans don't look that good. You know, there's too
Oh,
many
but
holes in those jeans.
talking about dress, man, I'm glad you brought that up because I didn't even think about that. And I know I have a daughter myself. You know, I have a daughter and I have a son. So, and Lazy has a daughter. So I know we're gonna get to the age. They're gonna get to the age where one day they're gonna dress. They're gonna wear something that we're gonna have questions, or we're gonna have a little opinion on whether that's a good option or not. Like, how did you deal with that, man? Having four daughters, like in Cali, bro, where it's very popular to like the trends in Cali. I'm sure they're very um influential. You know what I mean? Like, how did you
Mm-hmm.
deal with that? And like, did you ever give him any kind of like kind of challenge them a little bit of like, hey, you know what, like I don't think that's appropriate for you to dress like that, or I
Mm-hmm.
think those pants might not be for you, or that whatever. Like, is there anything that you remember dealing with back
You
when
know
they were
what?
younger?
Like I said, my wife, when it comes to the way they dress, she didn't let them, wear things that were too short or or too revealing. She would regulate that part. When they got a little bit older and they were 18, 19 years old, the only rule that I ever set was you cannot show more cleavage than mom. I remember that. I'm like, hey man, what the fuck? I go, you can't show more cleavage than mom. Put those things away. And then, oh, nah. But they were already adults. So
Yeah.
that's the only rule I ever set. Don't show more cleavage than mom as adults. And for the rest of it, my wife would take care of that part. So my wife really, really, like I said, she really did a lot of heavy lifting when it comes to raising the girls. Her being a female and understanding them and whatnot.
That's
Did you
interesting.
Yeah,
did
you know what though, but you talking about you got a girl, a daughter. One thing that really helped out when they were in high school, junior high, and they wanted to attend like school functions and whatnot. There's a school dance and whatnot. I always told them if you want to attend a school function, you got to be in a school sport, and that was always one of the rules. So all my girls played softball from the junior high all the way to high school.
Oh,
And
nice.
then when they were like 16 years old, and like my daughter would be like, "Hey, Dad, Jimmy wants to take me to the movies." I would be okay with it. I go, "I'm fine with it, but Jimmy has to call me and ask me permission to take you,
Oh,
because
wow.
if they do that and the kid calls you up, more than likely he doesn't have bad intentions. If he doesn't have the balls to call you up and speak to you, this is a hidden agenda, or he's got bad intentions, so you never get that call." So I always made them call me. And the boy, I mean, some kids were fucking brave. They were shaking and fucking stuttering, but they went through it. Mr. Cedillo, I think, where are you guys gonna go? We're going to the movies. What time is the movie? Around 4:15. What time's it over? I don't know. Okay, well, find out and call you back. Okay, they fucking hey, fucking
you
go
never had
call me back.
you never had the kid that's like, ¿qué hubo, suegro? Me la está llamando porque quiero llevar a su hija a ver una movie, suegro, ya sabe.
No. They all spoke English and shit, dog. None of them needed papeles and shit, dog.
Hey, okay, okay.
Bring me your green card, cabrón. I'll make sure you're a U.S.
Hey,
citizen before you call my daughter.
that's funny, bro. Did you ever have that thought, like, man, like I'll tell you this, because out here in the Midwest is different, right? So the amount of people that have papers is a lot less in California, bro. So there was times where people did have that thought.
Nah. If you look at it percentage wise, Cali. Whoa, who the fuck was moaning like that?
I don't know.
Oh,
But
if you look at it percentage wise, I think Cali still has more undocumented people. Way.
okay,
Oh yeah,
but like,
they're right on the other side of the border. But you know what? I never had to experience that where some guy
mm,
calls up, "Hey, suegro, cómo estás?" And we're gonna go to the rodeo and we're gonna go dance. Whoa, what the fuck? That's never happened. They were all in the same. They all went to the same school. They were all in similar grades. So
mm.
it was. I didn't go through that. I'm glad I didn't go through that. Man, I fucking scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, because like there's times where people feel like the dudes probably just wants to hook up with her for her papeles, bro, and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
I've heard stories, that's why I say that. But so you didn't deal with dudes like that, like from with that style, you could say.
No, no,
Did you ever
that's never been a thing with the kids my daughters hung out with. They never
did
hung
did
out with.
did they ever hang
Mhm.
out with did they ever date any cholos, bro? Was that ever a thing?
That was no, never a thing. We moved out of East LA when I was raising my kids,
Mm,
so the areas they lived in, there wasn't a lot of cholos. There wasn't a lot of cholos, and they lived in Azusa, and then they were up in uh, my youngest daughter graduated from South Hills in Covina. It was like that fucking school, like a fucking university, awesome school. So they never dealt with cholos. It was just um,
okay.
and they were all good kids. They were all good kids. At one point, one kid asked my daughter out, and I go, "Really? Fuck! Hey, I think he's too good for you, mija. You like, he's a fucking awesome kid." I go, "How'd you pull that off?"
Oh, that's funny, bro.
Oh
That's funny because
man.
you could see you say I could see myself saying that to my son one day, but like to my daughter, I feel like I'm like ain't nobody's good enough for you. You know what I mean? But that's sometimes you do gotta be a little realistic or funny
All
with it.
right?
But
yeah.
so you had that thought, man, and a lot of people have that have mixed feelings about it. You know, when it's like, oh, so you wanted to move out the hood, now you think you're better than everybody else, or oh, what you think growing up in the neighborhoods you grew up is not good enough for your kids, like did you have that, like did you moved out there, I'm guessing, for that same intention of raising your family in a better,
Mm-hmm.
safer place for them, right? And from the
Yeah.
looks of it, it worked out for you, right? Like,
You,
well,
you know what? You get those people that you grew up with and you're not in the same situation as they are, you know, and they want to give you shit. And I remember telling somebody, I go, you know what? You and I came from the same fucking place, you know, same fucking place. I just did something with myself. You did it, so don't blame me. It's your
Ooh,
fucking fault.
ooh.
Don't fucking tell me, you know. So they can't get mad at you for doing something, you know. We came from the
strong
same place, you know.
strong choice of words, but yes, I hear where you're coming from.
Right? Yeah. You
Chonuc.
can you had a head start. What do you had a fucking head start? You know, I even feel that way about my neighbors. You know, I go out and I'm the only Mexican guy here. And you know, if they look at me funny, it's like, you know what? Fuck you. I wasn't even born in this country, and I'm already living next to you. You're a white dude that came from the Mayflower. You should be doing something better than this. You know, it's not my fault that I'm your neighbor. It's your fault that I'm your neighbor. You know, do something with your life, fucker.
No, but
So right.
like from the title of your podcast, No Father, No Problem. You know, so you obviously that lets us know you grew up without a dad. Um,
Mm-hmm.
how did you manage to like come up with these like whose idea was it to be like, oh, let's move out the hood so we can raise our kids in the nice safe neighborhood? And how did you like figure out how to be a good dad? Like did he how was that about, man?
Well, you know what? In the hood, there's a lot of examples of what not to do. You
Mm.
know, plus, I would love to say that it was no father, no problem, but it was my father came around once in a while and he was a dick, and here and there. So you had a good idea of what fucking not to do. You know, I when I turned 15 years old, I felt like I outgrew my father because I would
Mm,
look at him and be like, "Can't believe you fucking said that. I don't fucking make any sense. Why would you do that?" You know. So just seeing him gave me an idea of what not to do. You know, and
yeah.
plus when you're in the hood, you realize I don't want my daughter growing up going outside and trying to play some ball on the street or doing this. You don't want them around that environment, and that was an easy call. It's not something that they got to teach her. You got to learn. It's an easy call because you know how bad it is where you're at. So you want to get out of there. You want better for your kids, and somewhere else is better.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay. No, that's facts, man. And I completely agree with that because me and Lazy, we both did the same thing. Because we grew up in North Minneapolis, and for the people
Mm-hmm.
that don't know about Minneapolis, North Minneapolis, you could say is like Compton. You know, it's a black neighborhood. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
there's there's Asians and then there's a few Mexicans sprinkled around, but it's a very rough side of town. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
we grew up in it, and when I even think back to this day of experiences we had, or me coming home from work at 2 in the morning, getting off the city bus and walking home at 16 years old, bro, I'm just like, how the fuck did I manage to survive all that shit, bro? Like I was a 16-year-old kid walking next to crackheads, drug dealers on the corner, drive-bys happening as you're walking by, and somehow by the grace of God, which I don't think you believe in that, but it's
It
by
was
the
the devil
grace,
that helped you. The devil was there. No?
the devil kept the killers busy on the other side of town.
The devil was like, I got different plans for you, Smiley.
So it's like for me, it's like by the grace of God, we made it home all those times, bro. But it's like I cannot even imagine my kids walking through those streets, bro. Like I would be, bro. Just the thought of it scares
Yeah.
me, bro. So I'm just like, it's just we grow up different, and the experiences that we grow up having to have no choice but to be raised in those neighborhoods. It
Mm-hmm.
makes us stronger. We survive. We're
Yeah.
tough, but it's like we also know that we
We
didn't
got lucky.
we got lucky. It's not like it's like, yeah, I'm the baddest motherfucker. That's why I made it out. And people,
You
Yeah.
no.
But you also know you don't want that for your kids. You don't want your
Yeah.
kids to
yeah,
go through that. You know,
yeah,
the more time, the if they don't got to worry about staying alive, they can worry about real things,
Yeah.
school and different shit. They don't got to
Yeah.
worry
Right.
about fucking dodging bullets and shit like that. So yeah,
Yeah.
same way with me. You don't want them there. So once you got a little older and could afford it, you got the hell out of there and try to
Yeah.
give them a better life.
Yeah, because we know that that energy that we had, and most people in the city are gonna have is like you're gonna have to hold yourself with a tougher character, that tougher personality. Even if you
Hmm.
want to say hi to somebody, you don't say hi to people, because that might make you look soft. Um, we ran from gangs. We ran from gangsters, whether they were Mexicans or black gangsters or sometimes Asian gangs that would just pull up for just random shit. We ran from police, jumping
Hmm.
fences. Like you get lucky when you're able to jump these fences and you take the right way, bro, because you could easily go in through that driveway that has no exit. You know what I mean? Which I've gone through
Yeah.
one time and I got jumped really bad. But
Yeah, and I've seen pictures of you guys when you guys were younger. You guys were looking for it también, ¿verdad?
yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
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 I
We
see those
we
pictures, yeah.
we
You
we
guys you guys had the wrong look también.
yeah, we
Yeah.
dressed like that because we wanted to represent La Raza. We wanted to represent
Hmm.
Mexicans. We're out here in Minneapolis, and for the surprise for a lot of people that might not know whether they're from California or southwestern states, there was a lot of raza out here trying to dress like it so we can let people know like we're here, and also like
Hmm.
don't fuck with us, respect us. But you're right, that look does attract other gangs, other people that think like, oh, you're tough. Let's see how tough you are, and then it
Hmm.
attracts the police, where it's like, oh, you might be holding some, you might just be up to no good. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
now as I got older, bro, to me is like no brainer. I got out the hood even before I had a kid. I got out the hood when I got with my girl, like when we like started living together. We were still
Hmm.
living in a really nearby city close to the hood. And then when we were able to buy a crib and get out, bro, like some people talk shit, like even some of my family like members, bro, but I know they're just joking and clowning, but they'll be like, bro, you like moved like far from the hood. And I'm like, that's exactly what I was looking for. As soon as I was far enough, I was like, I want to buy a crib here because I know what the hood is like, bro. Like we see videos on Instagram or social media all the time of people getting robbed, people getting beat up randomly. And it's
In
like
front of your kids. In
in
front of
front of
your
your
kids.
kids, and it's like that's because you're in the hood, bro. Like that shit happens in the hood. It's just
Hmm.
random shit just happens in the hood like that.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah. Growing up, we saw plenty of that, plenty of that around you, and it's a good idea to get out of there because you might be living in the hood and not looking for that attention, not even dressed like it, but it's still gonna come to you. You're gonna be a, innocent bystander. So it's always best to get out of there, and especially if you got kids. You want to protect
Yeah.
them any
yeah,
way you can.
Right. Right. But just going back to being a dad, man, because that's what we on nowadays, man.
a dad. We look up to Chonuc because he's a dad.
But it's like were you did is there any things that you consciously did that you were consciously doing because you're like, I don't want to raise my daughters like the stereotypical Mexican dad would raise his daughters, or or like the way I saw my friends' dads raising the way they would treat their sons, and then the way they would treat their daughters was a little bit different. Like, is there anything that you consciously knew you were doing, or you were just going with the flow, going with the punches?
You know what? I was going with the punches, letting my wife really dictate what was going on, and I was there to raise my voice when I had to, and the chancla when I had to. But I'll tell you something that like to this day has served us well. Plus, I have told my friends about this, and they have also adopted this way of doing things. I know.
Okay.
I think when Frankie and I were on your podcast in the past, I had mentioned this, but one thing that I'm happy I did was when my kids turn 18, you sit down and you tell them, you know what, you're adults at this point, you know. Well, not when they turn 18. After they graduated high school. Because sometimes they turn 18 before or sometimes after. But when they turn 18, I told them, I go, you're an adult now. Okay. You're going to have to pull your own weight. There's nothing's free around here no more. So I sat my daughter down when she turned 18. I told her, I go, hey, uh, let's, I need to talk to you about something. I go, so you're 18 now, you get to pull your own weight. Now, pretend you're outside of the house. I go, do you want to come in my house? And they're like, yes. I go, okay, you're gonna have to pay rent. I go, do you want air conditioning and Wi-Fi? And they're like, yes, you're gonna have to pay for that because you're not entitled to it. It's not free no more. And I taught them from the age of 18 that things cost, that there's an expense to everything. Every little thing costs, you know. As my daughters got older, they turned 18, they paid their own insurance, their own cell phone, they all started working. And as they turned into adults, and one way or another, they would tell you, you know what, that I appreciate you did that because um, other people they didn't know how to handle it when they turned them into adults and said, "Hey, you got to buy your own toilet paper." They didn't know how to deal with it because you put us through that. It really helped us out, you know, as we were older. You know, expenses and bills didn't scare us because you taught us that. And I think a lot of parents don't do that. A lot of parents let their kids get away with it. They're 19, 20 years old and they're in the house and they ain't paying shit. And the parents do it because it makes them feel good to keep supporting their son. But that's a very selfish act to feel good yourself while you're fucking up your kids because you're not teaching them to be adults. And parents are like, "Well, I feel good about it." Yeah, but you're selfish because you should be teaching him how to be an adult, not feeling good about supporting him as an adult. You know. So
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the biggest thing is teach your kids to be grown up when they're grown ups, when they're 18 years old. Of course, there is the balance there. When if they go to school, then yeah, there's a discount on your rent. If you know for different reasons, but you're gonna be doing adult ass shit when you're an adult, and I think that people don't understand. People, especially like men with their daughters or women with their sons. Es mi bebé, and he's 24 years old. Es mi bebé todavía. It's not like that. You got to teach them to be adults, or because that's our goal in life as parents, to teach our kids to be adults when it's your turn.
Did your kids have jobs before they were 18?
My daughter had a job, and when she graduated high school, I had to talk with her, and it tripped her out. She goes, "Dad," she goes, "That was rough. That was real rough." And she started working at 18, started working In and Out, and started working and going to school at the same time. But she goes, "That was rough." My next daughter started working when she was, I think, 17 at In and Out. And then the little one, I think she turned 16 years old. And 2 weeks after her 16th birthday, she was already working at In and Out.
Mm.
The family business
I
or what?
I think you know what's crazy, the when you have older brothers and sisters, the kids that are coming next, they grow up a little quicker because they see what their older brothers and sisters are doing, so they kind of
Mm-hmm.
already know how things work. I say this because even with my daughter and my son, even though at the age that they are now, like my son is advanced on certain things that my daughter wasn't even saying yet or doing yet, just for the simple fact that he talks with her, he sees what she does, and he hears the conversation. So he's a little more advanced than she was when she was just a single child. But the reason
Okay.
why I asked you that is because um a lot of us, growing up being immigrants, like or first generation Latinos, um you start working early, and there's that. I kind of have that doubt whether it's a good thing to get your kids starting working like when they're like, or let them work when they're like 16, even though they're still going to school, or is it better to be like, no, just focus all on your school and start, and we'll worry about the working once you graduate.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know what I mean, because
Yeah,
once
yeah.
you
You know
once you
what?
once, yeah.
Because you know what though, kids are capable of so much, and I think they decide how far they're willing to go. If you tell a kid you can work if you get good grades. And when they're working, they're putting $200-300 in their pocket a week, and they're going to school with a pocket full of money, dressed, the way they want to be. They're gonna really work hard at school because they
Mm.
see something they want. You put a goal in front of them, and they're gonna try. So I
Mm-hmm.
think I think it's a good thing because it gives them something to shoot for. And so because if they're only going to school, they're only using 30% of their time to do something productive. It's not hard to school is not that hard, and they have a lot of free time. Free time is the devil's time. So you keep them
Yeah.
busy and you keep put a good carrot in front of them for them to go after. They're gonna do good things. Because you 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 gotta occupy more of the time than
Mhm.
just school.
That's true. That's true. And that's one of the challenges that I have, because um it's kind of like me personally, I see like, man, like what if I didn't have to work as a young kid? I would have been like in after school activities. I would have been in the sport, high school sports. But me as a kid, I was like, I can't play soccer after school. I got to go work and give my mom half of my paycheck, give my dad half of my paycheck. So it's like I always see that as like missed opportunities. You know what I mean? So like I like
Hmm.
that's why I asked you that, because it's kind of like I want to just get different people's perspectives, because I want to just be kind of prepare myself as well when I get to that point. Um,
Oh
but
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like,
No, no. I understand. I understand the question. I can see where
Yeah.
you're going with that. Where they missed out on something, but sometimes they're going to school and they're not taking advantage of the sports and anything else. Might as well put them to work and have them understand what it takes to make a dollar.
Yeah.
A lot of kids don't understand the value of the dollar. They don't understand
mm,
what rent. Like your kids are small. One of these days, sit them down and ask them, hey, what does the rent cost? What does gas cost? Ask them those numbers, and it's going to be a funny answer. They're like $2 million, $550,000. Hey, how much do I make at work? $800. I mean, just some funny numbers. Because they don't understand, what things cost. So for some of them, it gives them an understanding, of what it takes to make a dollar, and they appreciate you more because they're like, hey, dad does this every single day,
Mhm.
for 8 hours a
yeah.
day, and and on weekends as well. So they'll also appreciate your work because they'll see what you go through.
Yeah.
Did you spoil your kids? Do you feel like you
I
spoil your kids?
I did. Back, they said I used to work a lot back then, and back in the days out in Colorado, we had some investment properties, and we were renting them, and uh, the income was really well. And so I like to give my kids what I didn't have, and I overdid it. And I'll tell you where I overdid it was when it came to eating out, going out to restaurants. Because like I didn't know what a Happy Meal was till I was like fucking 10 or 11.
Mhm.
And as I got older, I was able to take my kids out, and I took them out to eat. Man, my kids were 10, 11 years old, and they already know how to order sushi, and they knew that they like their steak medium rare, and they knew how to they know how to open up crab legs and shit, and we would do it a lot. I mean, we did it a lot, and I liked them to have good tennies because growing up I didn't have them, so I would always buy them tennies, and so I think I did spoil them, and uh, do I regret it? No, I don't regret it. I'm glad they were able to experience that,
Yeah.
But I,
It-
I think maybe I I think it balanced out when they started working and understood what it took to make that money that I spent on them. So maybe they appreciate it more,
Mhm.
knowing what it took for me to give them that. So um, spoiled, yes, maybe a little bit,
Yeah.
nothing that was gonna affect them,
No, I feel like we all do the same thing, bro, because we all know what we didn't have. Like whether you're spoiling them with time, whether you're spoiling them with like cariño, or
Hmm.
whether you're spoiling them with material stuff like toys and or food. You know what I mean? I feel like I do a little bit of all of that. Because I feel like, oh, my parents were focused more on church, so I'm gonna make sure that I don't overdo it there. Oh, my
Hmm.
parents, you kind of know what you missed, or I think as a parent, you kind of know what you wanted, and you kind of give that to your kids, right? I'm not
Hmm.
I'm not saying like you force it on, but you're kind of like open to it, and you kind of offer it, like, the cariño's right here. I tell my daughter I love her every day. Um, but as far as you taking your kids out to eat and buying them the stuff, do they ever mention that to you? Like, dang, daddy, you spoiled us, or you
they they
gotta.
they they remember it. They remember it because they go out to eat and they know exactly how they like their steak. The beef medium rare with the mango sauce on top.
Oh wow.
So yeah, no, they remember it. You know what else is good? Us being you know, first generation Mexican or being born in Mexican. You know, what's always good is there is a lot of ideas, a lot of things um, that come from the old country. You know, let's say you're out there playing and you burn your hand. The first thing they want to put on you is some savila, and they want to put this and that. There's always a lot of home remedies. There's a lot of old ways of thinking that come into play because those are the ideas that were put into our head. One thing that I learned growing up was to try to start thinking for myself and not fall back to all those old school remedies, you know, si te quemas, well, wait a minute, before we do the old remedy, what's the right thing to do in our age and time? You know, we're educated, educated people now. We're not from a rancho. We don't got to resort to all that old stuff. But a lot of people, just because it was put into them as children, they fall back on that really, really fast. And in some cases, it's not good for them. You know, I would say stop and think about what you need to do without falling back into old ways. You know, think about
Mm.
how you're gonna fix it. Don't fall back into old ways because old ways are there because that's how our parents would deal with it. You know, back when there was no doctors, there was no law enforcement or different things like that. You know, so always think about before you react. You know, don't fall back on your old ways. There's new ways of doing stuff nowadays.
Did you use the Vaporu with your
Oh,
kids?
the Vaporu, did you ever do the cono in the ear infection? You did a cono, you lit that thing on fire. You ever do
Bro,
that?
bro, it's funny that you mentioned that. I never had done that in my life. At least I don't remember until like a month ago or like a couple of weeks ago. But it
Oh,
was like because I had like I was congested, and sometimes you
mhm.
forget that your congestion it affects more than just your nose. It starts going up to like towards your ears and then, all kinds of stuff. Well, I got out the shower one time, bro, and I was blowing my nose really hard, and then I ended up plugging one of my ears really bad. And then, bro, I like, bro, it's funny now, but I was like, I told my girl, I'm like, yo, I'm really dizzy right now. And she, I play a lot, bro. I joke way too much at the house. So my kids were just laughing at me. My girl was kind of looking at me like, are you serious? Bro, I'm like walking in the hallway and then the sala, bro. And I'm like
Todo
tipping over,
chueco.
bro. I was
You lost your
tipping.
equilibrium because you couldn't hear out of one ear.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm like, I'm all leaning towards one side, bro, about to fall over. And then my kids are laughing like I'm just joking with them, like I always do. And then my girl finally gets scared, and I was like, man, I think we need to do that one of them things where you do the do the cone with the newspaper and then light it up on fire. And bro, sure enough, that shit worked way.
It
So
worked.
some of
Oh
the old
shit!
some of the old shit, some of the old remedies, bro, they work way because
What was your co-payment on that, dog?
bro. So I laid on the floor, bro, and I wrapped my face around with the towel para que no me caigan
Yeah,
the cenizas
the
or whatever.
ashes.
Ashes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And sure enough, bro, we lit it on fire, bro, and you could just hear like squeakiness in your ear, like air is escaping, bro. So, bro, it works, way. That type
You
of
know
shit
what?
works.
I remember having those, and the fire would be coming down, and all of a sudden you get like a puff of smoke, like a puff of air.
Oh,
You're like,
yep,
oh,
yep,
I está al aire,
yep,
it's coming out, right? And
exactly.
I remember that. I remember doing that, or el ajo in the ear as well. You heat up an ajo, you put it in your ear, all kinds of stuff. But the thing is that, like now, my mom, when she's got medical problems, she makes a doctor appointment.
Mhm.
But when I have a medical problem, she wants to fix me. When she has a medical problem, she makes a doctor appointment. You're like, hey, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? It makes you want.
Ha-
Do you do that because you like fixing people? You want to play
mm.
doctor, but for you, it's too good for your health. So that's that's old school.
No, that's funny, man. It's just like going back to what we're saying, man. It's just the conversations that we appreciated when you guys would have on your podcast. It's just real life, real experience, stories, bro. Like no overhyping up anything, no acting like anything that you're not, bro. It's just real life stories, bro. That we appreciated with you guys' podcast.
Yeah,
But not.
sometimes we listen to them and we're like, man, maybe we should have lied a little bit. Maybe we should have made ourselves sound a little cooler. But they wouldn't believe it if we did, you know. So hey, we 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 would tell stories from just growing up, you know, in East LA, and you know, and fucking we wouldn't nunca le ponemos crema a los tacos, you know what I mean? The fucking
Yeah.
tacos estaban bien encremados, fucking salsa y todo, you know? There was no need to fucking lie about it, you know? So, and
Yeah.
that shit comes, when it comes out natural, and then plus Frankie's telling the same story I am, you get two different points of view. So the stories had good angles to them, you know?
Yeah. No, that's facts, man. But you
And
know,
you,
nowadays you're a grandpa, man. Like, how does it feel to be a grandpa, bro? Like, is it true where when they say that you treat your grandkids a lot different than what you treated your own kids?
Well, I like to call myself a gilf, you know? Sometimes
ay,
aquí ando gilfeando. No, no, that is true because, like my wife tells me, she goes, "It's not our job to raise them," you know. So cuando ando haciendo travesuras, just watch them, just enjoy them, just make sure they don't get hurt. But it's not our job to discipline them. It's our job to enjoy them, give them all the cookies they want, play with them, and then when we're done, they go back with the parents, and the parents raise them. You know, it's not our job. So it's a lot more fun because you don't have to raise them, and it just I enjoyed my grandkids better than my kids, you know, because of that reason. You know, it's
so
just all fun, no discipline.
so you
Mm.
guys don't like do the classical intervening of like, no, no lo estás haciendo bien, or you know, you're not doing this right, or le tienes que pegar, or no le
Los,
des
ta-
eso.
los vas a hacer chipilón and all that kind of stuff. Did
Do you
do you ever
guys?
do that?
Well, my daughter had got her bachelor's degree from the University of I forgot what the name of the school in child psychology when she was like 21, 22. My youngest daughter was still 16. So when my wife and I would get together and we had a problem with the little one, my 21-year-old would jump in too and help us out, because she was that I have a degree in this. I know what to do. Like, all right, cool. So that came out really, really helpful too.
Oh
So at
man.
the same time as um, at first I did want to do the discipline and don't do this, don't do that. And my wife told me, no, it's not our job. It's not what we're here to do. It's not. And ever since I stopped doing it, I get to enjoy them more. I get to enjoy them
Mm.
more. Plus, like I said, my daughter's pretty smart and she knows how to handle herself. And you know, in some cases we do jump in and say, give our opinion. We're not too pushy about it. You're
Yeah.
doing this wrong, and what's wrong with maybe you wipe from the bottom up instead of the top down. You know what I mean? Sounds like she drinks all the cranberry juice. So you give your opinions.
Yeah.
So you give it as an opinion, not that way they don't feel like you're stepping on their toes.
Yeah.
No, that's facts, man. Because um, it's we all had those parents that sometimes like you see the way they treat the grandkids and you're like, whoa, you were not that way with me at all, man. Like you were not that cariñoso or cariñosa with me. You were not that patient with me.
Understanding,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Because like back in our days, bro, you make one single mistake and smack, bro. You get smacked in the back of your head, bro, or
Yeah.
they pull you from the ear. And nowadays,
Yeah.
they let the little kids get away with everything, bro. So, you see that and you're like, man, like it's one of those feelings that I guess you won't understand until you're in that position. But one thing I can tell you, I became a dad when I was 30 years old. You know what I mean? So I was a daddy at an older age, bro. Like because real quick, one of the things that me and my girl had always made a point to do was to wait until we were older and at least a little settled. You know what I mean? Because growing
Mm-hmm.
up in the city, bro, we saw a lot of kids our age when we were in high school having kids, and it was kids raising kids, right? But it's like so we always waited, but it's like so being 30, you're obviously at an age where you're a little more mature, more understanding, and I'm sure sometimes even the way my older brothers and sisters sometimes see the way I raise my kid, they're probably like, damn, like you let your kid say that to you or you let your kid respond to you that way. But the way I see it is like, as long as my kid's not being disrespectful, I allow my kid to challenge what I asked of them or what I told them. You know, like if I tell my daughter like, "Hey, you can't do that," and then she says, "Well, why not?" You know, I'm not gonna be mad at her for asking me why not. You know, I'm gonna explain to her why she can't do that at this time. Well, you know, since back in the day, we couldn't ask our parents. You know, from mom or dad say, "Hey, vayan a hacer esto," we're like, "Por qué?" You know, you're about to get your ass whooped. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I
Nowadays,
agree. Even as adults,
Mhm.
when you're asked to do a task, sometimes you got to understand what you're doing, how that's gonna help out the whole situation. You got to know
Yeah,
what it is you're doing. That way,
yeah,
you understand why you're doing it. You know, you just
Mhm.
tell a kid go pick that up, and they don't understand why they're doing it, and you're
hmm
making them do it. It just some kids don't understand that way. But if you tell them, hey, go pick that up because the kids are gonna play and it's not tropezar, and so if you
exactly.
explain that to them, they'll understand you, and then even in the future they'll know that there's a reason why you're telling them to do it. And then in the
Yeah.
future, they question you less. So no, I agree with you. I agree with you. And plus, also, I agree with having kids at a later age.
hmm
Because I had my kids at 18. I was still a child, huh? I was still a child trying to raise children, and I don't think that's a good way of going about it. 30, I think, is a good age because you're mature enough to understand and raise kids. But that makes sense. I agree with you.
Yeah. I at least that's me and my girl, bro. We've been together since we were in high school, and like I said, both you know, we were both undocumented, you know what I mean? And we both grew up in the city. So we both saw like what it is to be undocumented kids in the city. Whereas like if you have kids at a young age, what what kind of opportunities are you going to be able to create for yourself and for your kids? So we were very strong on that. Like we got to take care of ourselves and make sure we don't have kids at a young age because it can really jeopardize our future, right? And our kids' future. But um damn, I forgot what I was gonna say. But oh yeah, I was gonna say when I this is my thoughts, and some people might hear and be like, man, you crazy, bro. You gotta be authority and you gotta let your kid, you gotta discipline him like this and do. But it's like the way I see things is like if I let my kid question and at least want to know why she's doing certain things, or my son know why he's doing certain things, that's good. That's preparing them when they're adults or when they're in school and someone asks something of them like, "Hey, you got to do this like this." I want my kids, if they don't know why they that person wants them to do something exactly that way, I want my kids to be confident enough to be like, well, why do you want me to do it in that specific way, or why can't I do it this way instead? Because
Yeah.
I feel like the way our parents raised us, that it was only their way or the highway, it blocked us from being from feeling like we have better ideas, or our ideas don't matter. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
if you give your kids the opportunity to question why you want them to do it that way, maybe they have a better way of doing it and you don't even know it. You know what I mean? So if the way I see it is like just giving him that kind of freedom and that kind of confidence and that trust in me to be like, well, why you want me to do it like that, Dad? I could just do this instead, and then it'll be better. And then I might be like, oh shit, I didn't even think about it like that. Yeah, yeah, do that instead. You know what I mean? So
That makes sense, and it gives them a better opportunity to be a leader instead of a follower.
Yeah.
Not just
right.
take orders and go out and blind allegiance and do whatever it is you want to do. Question authority, and then form their own opinion on whether they want to move forward or not. But I think it gives them a better chance of being a leader as well.
Yeah.
Not just a blind follower.
And
I
they
agree with you. That makes sense. With there's so many different ways to raise kids, and there's so many kids that follow direction differently. Different ways of speaking to kids. Some kids you sit them down and you speak to them clearly. Some kids you got to pull out a chancla because some tacos. There's a lot of there's a lot of different ways. No, but I,
yeah.
Yeah.
I I agree with you what you're saying. I agree with because you know
Yeah.
what when they get older they might not follow religion because they thought for themselves.
Yeah. And I think giving them that opportunity for questioning and options and them thinking for themselves, it helps them move with a better attitude también, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because when people feel,
They think they're part of
yeah, yeah,
the solution.
yeah. If you
hmm
if you just if you just feel forced, you're gonna be like, oh fuck this. It's kind of like how a lot of people feel like at work, right? We're like, we don't have a fucking say in this. We just got to do this because fucking management decided it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I agree with that. There's many ways to raise kids. You know, I feel like I have a plan on how to raise my daughter. I feel like Smiley has a plan. We're different but similar in ways, but we have an idea of how we want to raise our kids, bro. Because just because of the way that we are as adults, sometimes you can kind of look at yourself as an adult and be like, why am I a little bit nervous here? Or why am I a little insecure here? Or why don't I challenge this? And then you kind of think back and be like, oh, maybe when I was a kid, I didn't feel like my words were valid, or people didn't hear me out, or excuse me, dude. Or people will be like, hey, adults are talking right now. Like, no, don't interrupt us, you know? A lot of that stuff people might see as like really petty little stuff, but it does for young kids, young minds, young brains, that sticks to them to be like, oh, I'm interrupting an intelligent or a smart conversation. They know what they're talking about. I don't. Let me just mind my own business, or let me just keep my thoughts to myself, right? So with that being said, even as growing as adult, I've always challenged that, and now I even like overstep. Like if I'm nervous to say something, I'll still say it, you know what I mean? And I'll accept the outcome of it, even if I'm like nervous, or even if I'm like, oh, I don't want to look stupid, you know. You got to overcome that kind of stuff. And now that we're raising kids, I don't want my daughter to have those obstacles to deal with as an adult. You know what I'm saying? So
You know what? I think you forget who you are sometimes, and in your mind you just picture yourself as somebody who's young. You're a young guy, and you just go out and say things just willy nilly. I see. You got to remember that you're an adult, and to your daughter, you're the most powerful person she knows.
mm-hmm.
Your words are probably the most powerful words she knows. So whatever you say, good or bad, she's gonna remember that shit, and it's gonna impact her life. You know, if you listen to her, she's gonna remember that she has value. No, so you got to remember how powerful your words are, not only to your daughter, but different people at work, people that are younger than you, people that look up to you. You got to remember the words you say to them are going to really impact your life, especially kids. So
That's
you got to
true.
remember we're not kids no more. We're adults, and we've been around for a while. We have a reputation, and people look up to the things we say. So we got to be careful with what we say, because we could really hurt people, people who are vulnerable. So we got to watch
Mm.
what we say, especially around kids.
That's true, man. That's very true. But going back, man, like when we started this conversation, you said you're a empty nester now. You've raised your kids. You've been there. You've done that. They're out of the house. Um, what's something that you would like? What's some type of advice that you would give young parents or parents of young kids right now that you wish you would have known at a younger self when you're raising your kids? That is like, what's something that you would say, or even maybe not even say directly to anyone else, but maybe what's something that you would do different or you would change if you could go back, knowing being through it now.
You know what? Sort of like going back to some of the things that we talked about. Growing up, our parents raised us, and there was certain shortcomings, and there's holes that are left in us. Our parents never told us they loved us. We never got that good job tap. None of that. So there's holes inside of us, and we grow up trying to fill those holes, and you're never gonna do it. You're never gonna fill those holes. I would say make sure that you tell your kids you love them, listen to them. Don't say words that are hurting, that could hurt them. Um, um, so that when they grow up, they don't have that hole that they need to fill. They can grow. They can grow up and not try to make people laugh. My thing was, hey, we try to be funny, make people laugh, so I
yeah.
can fill that hole with laughter.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, make sure that our kids don't need nobody. They've had their parents that they love them. Make sure they have what they need. That way, they don't got to go around looking for nothing. They can become who they want to be, and don't got to be looking for it anywhere else.
Mm.
That's
Okay,
true, man.
so I think the point is just make sure you love your kids and you tell them you do.
Mm.
Yeah, I've heard this one saying that says quit passing down culture, no, quit passing down trauma like it's part of our culture. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
there's things that part of the Latino culture we can laugh about it now. We've been there, we've done that. Like that's our generations. Like our parents not telling us we love us, right? Or like our mom throwing the chancla at us, or our parents whooping the shit out of us hard, or just tough,
Cállate, estás menso, you know, it's like,
you know,
yeah.
tough love and tough discipline. We can laugh about it now. We went through it. We all know our parents loved us for real, but that's just the way that they parented us. But it's like we need to stop passing that down to our kids, acting like it's part
Mm-hmm.
of our culture.
Yeah.
That's not part of our culture. That's just um that's just you know our parents raising us the best that they could with what they knew. So we can't just continue to just keep passing that over to our kids and being like, yep, that's we're Mexican. That's how we do things. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we beat the shit out of our kids if si se portan mal or los traemos aquí de pendejos y no sé qué tanto. Like nah, like that's not culture. Some of that shit is toxic. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, you got to remember, you got to give our parents credit. They cross the border. They're trying to raise kids in a different country, a
mm-hmm,
different way of doing things. While both parents have to work over here, they came from a place where one parent worked and the village would raise the children. You know, out
Mm.
here it's not like that. You can't let the village raise the children; they could become gangbangers. You know, so you got to remember what they were taught they brought it over here and it doesn't apply over here. It doesn't apply. So you
yeah,
can't
Yeah.
really hold that against them. They did the best they could. But us being, you know, you guys being first generation and so on and so on, there's always got to be an improvement, you know? You always got to improve with generation and generation, you know? But our parents did the best they could with the information they had or they brought over from the rancho or from the pueblo, you know? So you
mm-hmm.
can't really hold that against them too much.
Yeah,
You're
man.
right. You're right. Then last question before we start letting you go, man. I know we holding you on here for a minute, bro, but I feel like these are important questions, man. And you know, I'm sure the listeners want to know just like I want to know myself, man. Like, do your daughters know Spanish?
Yes. Yes, yes.
How go ahead, go ahead. Or what did you do for them to learn Spanish? Did you just talk it around the house, or did they go to a Spanish immersion school, or how did they learn the language?
Grandparents. My wife speaks it very well. I I'm kind of I think I speak it well, but I don't. You know, el español no me sale muy bien, and then sometimes you gotta revert to a English word because you don't know the Spanish word. But I do pretty good, you know. But we would speak to them in Spanish, and so they learned it. They all of them speak Spanish right now.
Good, good,
Oh,
good.
man.
And
Yeah,
that's another
if
challenge
I had
for
a
us.
choice, they would speak Japanese instead of Spanish, man. You know.
That's facts.
Chonuc, man. Yo, we appreciate you taking the time, bro, to rock with us and conversate with us. You know, we had a lot of parental questions, bro, because you know we're going through it ourselves, bro, and especially
Yeah.
having four girls, you know, you have a lot of experience in the things we're gonna go through, man. Um, I don't know about your podcast, bro. You know, like the fans that are still there, including myself. You know, we would hope
Hey,
for.
check this out. Check this out. I know Frankie listens to the podcast, so hey, Frankie, let's do another episode. And I'm gonna wait for him to get a hold of me and say, all right, let's do it, okay? So
Yeah,
I called him out.
it
There
starts
we
with
go.
Called
one.
him out.
It starts with one, bro, and I know exactly how that goes, and Smiley does too, because we're going through the same stuff with Latino Happy Hour. You know what I mean? It's
Oh
not that
yeah, yeah.
it's not that somebody's pissed off at each other. It's not. It's just sometimes when you take a break, it's like taking a relationship break, bro. Sometimes you just think you're gonna take a month off, and then other things come up, bro. Other things happen.
Or sometimes some of the people in the relationship fall in love with something else. You know what I mean?
Oh, shit.
But yeah, bro, like we definitely appreciate you, bro. We wanted to get you on here, rock with us, vibe with us, because we respect you. We rock with you y todo eso, bro. So, yo, man, any last words you got for the gente that I know a lot of people that listen to your podcast are gonna be listening, bro. So if there's anything you got to say, let the gente know, bro.
Uh, shit. You know what? Since you guys are asking about parenting questions, you know, whenever you deal with your children, just always remember that you love them before you do take any action. You know, because when you do things with love, it always comes out better.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, just love your kids, and the best solution will always come out. Do that.
Mm-hmm. Man, and I,
Dope,
and
dope.
I appreciate you saying that, bro, because that's how I feel, and I'm sure Smiley feels the same way.
Yeah. No, and this was one of those episodes, bro, where it's like we kind of wanted to make it a point and have that conversation because in our community, bro, like we need to normalize having conversations about parenting, bro. We need to normalize having conversation about uh Mexican men, Latino men raising kids, bro, because a lot of the time we were raised by a lot of machista dads, bro. Like,
Hmm.
my dad is, I'll tell you this, bro, my dad is one of the nicest guys you ever meet in the world, but he was machista in his own sense. It was just
Hmm.
he's from an older generation that without even saying anything, you already know where he's coming from. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, yeah.
um it's good for us to have these conversations and just kind of like just let people know, like, yo, we are all kind of in the same boat because we're all starting new at this. You know what I mean? We're all kind of leaving certain traumas behind or certain traits behind that might not be the best to continue forward with our kids. And I think a lot of people need to know, like, we're not alone on this, they're not alone on it, and it's just good for the community, bro, good for the culture. And that's why we wanted to make it kind of a point to have this conversation with you, man. And I know we say this to a lot of the guests, bro, but it's like we are adding an extra episode a week nowadays, bro. So it's like we are gonna go back and invite people back and just have conversations, bro. So just because this one was about parenting doesn't mean the next one has to be, bro. I know you took a lot of trips to Tijuana back in the day. We can make a Tijuana episode, bro, and and get that them good stories, bro. But I just
we'll,
want to
we'll
say,
call that episode penicillin.
There we
so
go.
we definitely gonna get you back on, bro, and get some of them stories, bro. But I do want to say thank you, bro. I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate the trust you have in us to talk about your family, um, you know, your family experience and some of the ways that you raise your kids, bro. We definitely appreciate that, bro, because we need as much as information as we can nowadays, bro. Like, parenting is not easy, and the days we are living in now, it's getting even harder, bro. So the more information you can get to raise a better family, better kids, you can't go wrong with having too much, man. So thanks again, bro, for joining us in the pod, bro.
All right. Thank you guys for having me, man.
Yo, and
Appreciate it.
anybody that is new to Chonuc, No Father, No Problem, alongside with Frankie Blanco. All their episodes are still on all podcast platforms. They have plenty of episodes for people to go through them. Make sure you go look for the podcast, No Father, No Problem, and check out the homies podcast, man, because they got a lot of good stuff. So
And follow him on IG, man.
yeah, he always got some good food and some good chelas to show y'all, man. So, yo, mi gente, we are out. Peace.
Peace out.